Hello, and welcome to Virtual Miss Friday. My name is Michelle Dale, and in this video, I'm going to share with you something that happened to me recently that really made me wake up. It was like a huge wake up call. And I think there is a really important message behind what happened to me, which I wanted to share with you. And also, it's really relevant as well to what's been going on in my life recently and over the last couple of years, really, I guess. Okay, so a couple of days ago, I was driving along in my car and it was a 2-lane road. And in one split second moment, it was dark outside. It was in the evening. And one split second moment, I heard this incredible noise, like screeching of brakes, like nothing I've ever heard before. I've heard car accidents before and things like that, but this felt so close. It felt like it was just right here next to me. And at this second that I heard this noise, I looked up and I looked at the car next to me, which was directly parallel to me. So I was able to see directly this guy in this car, and it lasted for like 1 second, and then his car just plummeted forward and this other car just plummeted right back into the back of him. And I literally saw this guy move forward and hit the windscreen. Obviously his airbag wasn't working, or he didn't have an airbag, and the car spun round, and I carried on moving forward and driving, but it was a complete mess. And the interesting thing is, at that moment, the first thing I'm thinking is, oh my God, it's like a road accident and things like that, which is terrible. But as I was going home in kind of like the aftermath of it all, I was driving home, and then something popped into my head. It just dawned on me. If that was like a 50-50 chance that could have been me in that car in front, it was a 50-50 chance that car, who was behind, who obviously wasn't looking where he was going way too fast, slammed his brakes on. If he had chosen to be in my lane, the right lane, instead of the left lane, then that absolutely would have been me. So this is the first realization I had. And then the second realization, and I have no control over that. Then the second realization I had is that if that was me, that could have been the end of my life. That could have potentially either killed me or seriously hurt me, or literally did something or done something to change my life forever. So that was a really big thing for me. And then I started to think to myself after that, what if it had been? Knowing you could be so close, your life is so vulnerable, you could be so close to it ending in a second. How would I have felt about my life, and how would I feel differently? It felt like I was being given a second chance, It felt like someone said, look at what could happen to you. What are you going to do now with this knowledge, now that you know this? And it was then it became like this layered story. And I've written an article about this. I've done a blog post about this, but I wanted to also do a video to kind of explain it, and my thoughts around it, my feelings around it. And I thought to myself, well, the ultimate thing always is we want to be happy. For sure, if there was anything that I could think of, it wasn't like, oh, I want more money and I want to go traveling more and I want to do this, that, and the other, and I want. No, it was just like, crikey, if I can wake up and be happy every day and feel happy in my life every day in my skin, then that would be perfect. Then I have everything that I could possibly want and need in this life. And immediately when I thought that, I thought to myself about how we show up with that happiness. And sometimes I've done it in my life. Sometimes I have done things completely for myself, where I said to myself, I know this is going to make me happy, and this is what I'm going to do, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. And for sure, I went ahead and did it, and for sure it worked out. I was happy because it was completely for me. It was just one of those things where you make a decision and you just know it's right for you, and you know it's the right way forward, even though you know that other people are going to be upset or not like you for it, or may judge you for it, or that type of thing. And I've also not done things because I was afraid of being judged or afraid of what other people might think. And this actually came up recently. Sorry, I'm holding a little stencil from my daughter. This actually came up recently. I was having a conversation with a family member about a change in my life that's occurred, and they were like, oh, you shouldn't tell anyone about this, and this is not good, and what are people are going to think, and things. And I was just like, but I'm happy. You know, it's like, why should I put myself or my happiness on hold or hide behind like a mask or a screen to hide my happiness because some people might judge me? And believe me, if people judge me for it, then do I really want them in my life? You know, if they judge me because I'm happy and I've got something that I want in my life and is good for me and is good for my family even too, why would I want to hide that from the world? Surely the way that we encourage people to become happy and to be their authentic self and their true self is through showing up and being brave enough to show other people that we can do that. And it doesn't matter. And the most important thing is the people are there for you. You respect their opinions, but you don't let their opinions guide your decisions or shape you or create your life into something that you don't want it to be. So yeah, this all came from this car accident. So then I started thinking to myself about how happiness is the ultimate goal, and how the biggest roadblock to happiness is the fear of judgment of other people about how we live our lives and what we do in our lives. And oftentimes that judgment is false. And oftentimes it's the people who make those judgments against you or have opinions about how you live your life or whatever. It's more to do with their own insecurities or anything relating to them rather than you. Judgments are very much personal. They're not generally related to the other person. They're based on our own personal feelings and experiences. So the way I see it, other people don't feel my pain. They don't feel my joy. They don't walk in my shoes. They don't wake up in my bed every morning and then have to live my life every day. I have to do that. And all we can ever do, and you have to do that, and all we can do is do it to the best of our ability. But constantly strive to do things that make us happy and to be happy, but to do it unapologetically. To do it unapologetically, never apologize for your happiness. And never hold back on that. If you can spread something that makes you happy, whether people judge you for it or not, I don't see the bad in that. I only see the good. That it will encourage other people to step out of their comfort zone, to change their career, to change their relationship, to go on that trip, to whatever it is, to take that chance, to take that risk, to live their lives. So for me, that was the ultimate message that came out of that accident, that car accident, and it stuck with me, and it's going to continue to stay with me. And really, I think I was kind of like, because I've had so many problems, particularly at the beginning of the year, I was kind of like in a little bit of a coma. Obviously I was getting up every day and I was functioning. I have 3 kids. But I was kind of in a little bit of a life coma, where life just felt like it was a little bit numb and it was just going day to day. And it's felt like that for a little while. I've had some problems, but it completely changed my whole attitude. I wake up in the morning now and I'm like, how I'm going to make the most of this day. What am I going to do in this day that I really want to do? And of course, we're going to always have things we don't necessarily want to do. We all have laundry and washing up to do, and getting the kids ready for school and this type of thing, go and do the shopping. And we all still do those things, but we also have to understand that we have to do things to feed our soul, to nourish our being. And no matter how you are able to achieve that, of course, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, that would be terrible. But if you can do it in a way that is good and right and just, and the only thing standing between you and happiness is other people's opinions, forget them. People will either be happy for you or they won't, but either way, that's their problem, not yours. So, little life lesson from, I called it like this near-death experience, because it really was. It was like, oh my God, I could have died at that moment. It was pretty scary, but at the same time, it was also really impactful for my life, and I wanted to share this message with you. And I really hope it helps, and I hope it encourages you to follow your heart, to try to live your best life, to seek out the happiness that you want and not have to apologize to anybody for it, because it's important. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.